Well, let's go see if we can hunt down some of that fire then. Might as well get some XP and money along the way, too. Excuse me, sir. Please don't grasp at my ankles. God, so much. Ow. Getting hit by the bell. Let's take this rest point, too. Disappear, you ghoul. Is there anything wrong with enjoying wild animal meat? I would disagree with that. I think being an outcast is a freedom of its own sort. If we're going to continue to wax philosophical, which you know I will, because I can't resist. Pine resin ember. A piece of resin contains a continuously smoldering flame, can be used to upgrade the flame vent. Resin was found in the black pine within the forest of Mibu village. The ever smoldering flames acted as a landmark to find one's way to the village. In time, the villagers came to loathe the flames, and the black pines were lost. Those who defended the flame were equally loathed. Ah, yes. Ooh, and scrap, too. I ate venison last week. I made a rabbit stew just this last week, too. How did you enjoy your venison? I know that my rabbit stew, I was missing a little something with it. I needed some citrus in with the rest of what I added. It was a little too umami. Not enough to cut it. Live in a rural area now. Pretty much every guy I know hunts. I mean, I wish I wish I knew more people that hunted around me, or at least specifically, I wish I knew more people that hunted. I took a hunting class this last summer. Oh god, camera. And I went hunting myself because I moved to an area that has a more populous deer population. I guess is how I would describe that. Anyways, the deer around here are plentiful, at the point of being nuisances. Even it doesn't help that my neighbors feed them, but you know, used to hunt rabbit a lot back in the day. Haven't had 7 years though. Still do deer every year. Are you more of a rifle guy? Bowman? Personally, I'm a fan of the bow. Ow. I feel like it's a little more personal. Not in not in like the yeah, I really want to kill a deer way, but in the like I have great respect for the animals around me kind of way. Not that there's anything wrong with hunting with rifle, but it's just like a personal thing. I don't feel I don't feel good out teching deer. Old and lazy. I only hunt rifle now, but I've been bow hunting and haven't had much luck. Yeah, I didn't really have much luck this last fall, specifically because it was my first season, and also bow hunting is a lot harder, just generally. It is not an easy task to bring down an animal with a bow. Not that it's particularly, well, it's slightly easier with the rifle, but I'm not going to discount the fact that you do need to be in the right spot. You need to know your gear. You need to know exactly what you're doing in order to be a successful hunter in any capacity. Finding it is the hard part. Yes. Learning to track, or at least reaffirming myself with tracking, because again, I was a scout growing up, so there's there's some knowledge there. Just not a whole lot. Tracking, like basic, I'll call them woodsman skills. It's also been like a decade since I've really been a scout, and even then, I was not the greatest of scouts. Why I go with friends to monitor that stuff all year, check trail cams, studying patterns, know every deer in the woods. Hey, it like it is a good hobby to have if you enjoy being in nature. It's a good hobby to have just generally, as I feel like my only problem with hunters specifically is when it turns into the game of like, oh yeah, I bagged this many deer this year. It feels less sporting to me. It's less about the love of the game, but what do I know? Just Wednesday, I was at the bar and they were showing me pictures on the phone of a deer that they want for this upcoming winter. They're really going ham for it, huh? Look, there's if you're if you have the tenacity to say, I'm in these woods, I know where the deer are, I know where this specific one is, and you throw yourself on that trail, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's good to keep a hobby. It's good to be on top of things. It's, it's a real passion for them. For me, it's just meat. Yeah, I get that. I understand and respect it. Just like having clean meat in the freezer. I'm with you on that one. My spouse is vegan, but I've talked to them at length about like what are your limits? What makes you live vegan? And the limits that I've found are, I shouldn't say limits, but the thing that they really just have a problem with is the generalized like way that we treat animals in the meat industry and like in the dairy industry too, perpetually impregnating cows. It's not good to be perpetually pregnant. That's not that's not good for anybody. I don't mean people. I mean like bodies in general, regardless of the type. Whole food industry is abhorrent. If I could, I would grow all of my own food. I would hunt all of my own food. I would do all of the way. I would re-embrace knowing exactly where every bit of meat, every plant that I eat comes from. But it's near impossible in this world. Even the way we grow plants is ridiculous, Monsanto and all that. Oh my god. I do not think that any... Nothing should own the rights to the genetics of anything. I know that this is a hot take for some people because they're like, well, how are they going to make their money? I don't know. Any other way? Copywriting genetics is not... That's not something that I look at and feel good about. I don't say to myself, wow, what a marvel of humanity. I should probably keep playing the video game. I just know that there's this guy to talk to.
Oh, is that you, Shinobi? I was so taken by the melody. I did not see you coming. Ah, I can hear it. I'm sure the shamisen player is just beyond here. I knew it. She's been waiting for me the whole time.
Are you good, bro?
Ah, I knew it.
Okay. You're definitely not doing good. Let's equip the Sabimaru. We have the Divine Confetti. Let's equip the Mortal Draw as well. Unfortunately, it's too difficult to eat purely for me. The deer once a year and trying to buy responsibly is all I have effort for. Yeah, like... We live on a continuous treadmill of bills that must be paid. Food that must be bought. And it's just so difficult to get ethically, like everything that you want for an ethical life without paying out the wazoo or dedicating an unreal amount of time into it. You good, girl?
Why are you crying?
Because I'm sad.
What are you sad about?
I don't know where Lord Sakusa is, or what he's doing. It breaks my heart. If I can't see him, I'd at least like to know. But no matter how many letters I send, he never writes me back. And no one will tell me where he is. Actually, sir, can you tell me? Where is Lord Sakusa?
I don't know.
Oh, you're a liar too. Why must everyone hide him from me?
Okay. Come on. Strong Elden Ring vibes with. I guess that makes sense. It is FromSoft. Yes. This was their 2019 project. I believe it was while I think it was their last major project before. Oh. Okay, we're fine. I believe it was one of their last major projects before Elden Ring actually got released. But Elden Ring is also like of such an absurd scale. Ouch. I do not remember this lady's patterns at all. She also is aptly named Orin of the Water. Floating like the water herself. Ouchie. Ow.
Why would you hide him from me?
Lady, I don't know you. Oh, I should have spent my money too. Oh well, I guess we'll top up. It's like Elden Ring, but parry only. Hey, there's like 3 other strategies that you can implement. That's the vibe I get. Oh yeah, it's mostly parry. It's mostly parrying here.
You too. How dare you hide Lord Sakusa from me?
Lady, I don't know you. I don't know Lord Sakuza. Take it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Ouch. I will continue to fight her, even if she beats the shit out of me.
Why would you hide him from me?
I may just run past her as well, but it's the apparition type enemies that are always an issue for me. Drunk mob. Which one is this? I do not remember. Watched Park and Harbor and Little Aggie play this a few days ago. 2 players, 1 control. It's 1 controlled movement and other did attack. You're like pro speedrunners of the game though, so it felt very different to watch. Oh yeah, like I know what I'm doing a little bit, and I'm also purposefully throwing on the ankle weights. One moment. But I'm certainly no speedrunner. Oops. I'm showing off the chest. I'm showing off, don't TOS me, Twitch. I'm no speedrunner. I'm no pro at this game. I just have basics under my belt, and that's really it.
You too. How dare you hide Lord Sakusa from me?
Come on. We can do it. There's 1 down. Perfect. Couldn't imagine trying 2-player 1 controller like this. You have to be so in sync with each other. Yeah.
Instead.
The only way that I could describe that is you have to be drift compatible. Like in Pacific Rim. Man, talk about sequels that do not live up to the first movie. I watched that one back to back with the first one, and that was a night and day difference. Oh. Forgot about the sequel. Probably for the best. I would agree with that. That's a... They brought John Boyega into it. That guy knows how to act, but... Oh, man.
Why would you hide him from me?
That guy knows how to act, but he was not given the best material. He also wasn't given the best material with all of the new Star Wars movies, too. Although that's not a hot take, really. I feel like most people did not really enjoy.
You too. How dare you hide Lord Sakusa from me?
Most of the sequels. Somehow, Palpatine returned. Somehow, the franchise was milked even more. And that's after the prequels came out. I remember me and my cousins, oh man. Me and my cousins, while growing up, we were all really interested in Star Wars, and especially the prequels, and it was, I think, Burger King that offered. Sorry. Concentrating far too much here. It was Burger King that offered those stupid little watches. That had like reversible bands and like, ouch. One side was the watch and the other side was... No, we just completely whipped all of that. Whoopsie.
Would you hide him from me?
We all got... I think my dad bought episodes 1 through 6 specifically, and then we all sort of like divvied them out between ourselves as small children. I don't remember which episode I got, but Star Wars, Marvel, nothing is good anymore. Yeah, that's the problem. When money is deeply involved in the creative process, they don't want...
How dare you hide Lord Sakusa from
They don't want to make art, they want to have an investment product. And they want the ROI on that. Which is deeply saddening for as somebody that really likes the arts. But then again, that's like every art. And it has been forever. Simply because you need to feed your artists. And Van Gogh, well, he was certainly a starving artist. Although some of the stuff that he created was after both very high highs and very low lows. Or a combination therein. Give me a sip. Oh. Almost exclusively read manhwa now. Hollywood feels incapable of making good content. Not the big ones like Attack on Titan, the smaller projects. Yeah, I completely... I'm a huge Berserk head. And, like, yes, I know that Berserk is deeply, deeply beloved by a lot of people online. So it's not really a niche product anymore. But it brings me a deep... have all the deluxe editions. Those... the black books of those are so... I love them. They're tomes. Real projects. R.I.P. to Mira. A true legend of our time. He was a big philosophy person too, or at least somebody that had suffered a lot and saw suffering throughout the world and
Why would you hide him from me?
and thought, why not poke holes in that? Why not enlighten people and show that it's only over when you give up? I even have a tattoo. It's my Berserk tattoo. The first tattoo I've gotten, or had gotten. Normally that's what I'd be doing right now, reading stuff like that, but you're on, so I figured it all. Nice change of pace. The brand. Yeah! I specifically wanted the brand, but with the seal on it. Because I had been undergoing a lot of mental strife.
How dare you hide Lord
And it
Sakusa
is
from me?
a sort of promise to myself. Not to let the demons overcome. Then again, like, that's just a personalized meaning. A lot of people love the brand, and there's nothing wrong with just being like, yeah, it's cool, I like it. But I'm somebody that can't just settle for... Oh god. I'm somebody that can't just settle for the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna get this cool piece on me. If it's gonna be on me forever, I'm gonna have a reason why. At least a personalized reason why. There's nothing wrong with anybody else wanting it simply because it's good. She threw me off. She threw me off entirely. Oh, man. I need to actually pop my divine confetti so that I can make it through this fight. Been reading a lot of Korean manhwa. Read Solo Leveling before the anime came out, and enlightened me to how good Korea is at the game too. Oh yeah. I feel like there's a lot of I'll call it shared culture in that region. Not to say that they're not their own things, but it doesn't matter what culture you're in. There are good artists. Or whatever culture you're delving into. There's different vibes between the three, so it's nice to switch it up. You know what? I would gladly take any suggestions from you on this as well. A lot of the,
Why would you hide?
there was a point like a year and a half into the pandemic that I was just like, I really need to watch something different. So I started watching a lot of slice of life anime. And it, like, I watched Konosuba. No, that's the wrong one. I did watch that one, but I watched the first season and I was just like, it's okay. It's nothing to really write home about, IMO. But Toradora was my... That's the one that really stuck out to me as a standout piece of slice of life anime. I should probably read the manga for that one too. I just love a story about people living their lives, even if it is high school. Oh no, that's not slice of life. Is Toradora not slice of life? It felt pretty slice of lifey to me, but I mean, I don't know classifications for the genres really. I'm someone with a passing interest in many things, and unfortunately, no, that is I never saw it. Oh, okay. Dorodoro Hero? Sorry. Doro Hedoro.
Hide him.
What is that one about? Here, I'll add... We'll have a bunch of different things. Doro... Hedoro. Anime. / manga. Physics. Should probably make sure to label these. Okay, right back into the swing. How many more of these, 5? Okay, well, I can farm a couple more. You know what, let's do that. We can have a little bit more of a rapport while I do. Let's do the upper dojo. That'll be a little bit easier. We can follow the patterns. Failure Frame is probably favorite anime that flew under the radar in the past year or two. Failure If I'm gonna be a NEET, I might as well embrace it. Well, not technically a NEET. I'm just, I guess the best way to describe it would be I'm unemployed. Yeah, I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm unemployed. I have a job, so I guess I'm just leave. I don't think. I'll just stop there. I don't think. I don't think there's anything wrong with embracing other cultures, especially when Western media is extremely bad as of late. Ow. Don't idolize the culture, just appreciate good content. The West can't give it to me. Yeah, exactly. As my bizarre name was, I'm an arts appreciator. Does it matter where the art is from? No. You don't need to idolize the culture from which it came. You can just be an enjoyer of it. And that's important. Again, it's that philosophy of embracing good media or like ideas from regardless of the culture that they come. Like I played through Nine Souls recently, and that game definitely has a lot to appreciate or a lot to say about specifically, I'll say, China and like the sort of traditions that are embraced. And while, you know, I can't really relate to that because I have never been to China. I'm not from China. I'm very much an American, unfortunately. Well, I don't know if I would say fortunately right now, but I'm very much an American. So I don't understand exactly what it is critiquing and how. But I do understand and see the critiques. And I say, enlightening. More to learn, as always. This might be a hot take, but I view China like us. Their government absolutely sucks, but they have good people just trying to get by. I believe the same thing about China and Russia. The Russian government is awful and does a lot of awful things to a lot of people. But that doesn't mean that everybody in Russia is a villainous monster. Everybody in China is not a villainous monster. Simply because of factors that they can't really control because of a bunch of people that have managed to push their way into power. Unlike us, they can't really vocalize it like we can. Yeah, for now. Hopefully, this is just me doomer posting a little bit. I really hope that we do not get to that point. Who knows? what the future may hold. Russia's a bit weirder because they're a little more willingly involved in their governments. I guess it's more similar to us. I mean, yeah, like... Certainly doesn't mean everyone there is just like that, though. Just like us. Yeah. It doesn't matter... Nationalism... is a blight to thinking freely. And realizing that every individual is an individual. When we demonize people for factors outside of their control, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what the idea is. The result is still the same. It allows for tragedy to be I should just say, it enables for tragedy to take place in a variety of different forms. Well, we're fighting now. We should judge people for their individual actions, I should say. That's what my takeaway from this conversation is, or what I hope other people may take away from this conversation. I have a Chinese friend, and there's a saying there, I'll misquote it, but it's something like, the mountains are high and the emperor is far away. It's true. The further you are rurally, the less BS you have to deal with from the government. Yes. The more involved in the cities you are, the more involved in your life the government gets. Where there are people, there is regulation. Fortunately and unfortunately. It is simply how life is lived. I don't know if I've talked about it a whole lot with you there, but a current goal of mine, like long term, is to become a homesteader. I would like to escape from the hustle and bustle, or at least have the option to escape from it. I love embracing culture, and I love the living within a city. Like, experiencing the cultures as people congregate, I should say, is what I really love about city living. Every programmer's dream. I try to take away little things from various different peoples. And I have a lot of friends that are programmers and or software engineers. And I really need to talk to them more about, like, getting involved in the Linux systems more. Just because I know I would really like to escape from corporate interest generally. Come on, bro. And I know that open source is great. Just got promoted last week and got a Red Hat division. I'm not sure what that means, actually. What are the Red Hats? That is not a term that I'm familiar with. It's enterprise corporate Linux, but not the biggest fan of it, I would imagine. Simply because you're in charge of other people too. Enterprise Linux distribution. It's money. That's how it goes. Anything that you're passionate about and begin to make money from, it's easy to lose that passion. $30% more responsibilities for 10% more pay. You know the vibe. Oh yeah. I definitely know that vibe. It's real easy to have others take advantage of you. But you still gotta eat. We in the West certainly deal with a lot of well, a lot of our workers' rights have been fought with blood. New title is Manager of IT Operations and Disaster Recovery. Yeah, so you're IT. You get blamed for everything when it goes wrong. And the other, what is it now, like 90% of the time? You get a slightly more relaxed vibe. Yep. At least to the I know that IT is really the department that suffers most from the shit rolls downhill mantra. Or one of the departments that suffers from it the most. Anybody that has to deal with troubleshooting at all really deals with it. It's like being in charge of the power grid. No one thanks you when it works, but blames you when it doesn't. Yep. That is, I definitely understand that. When how many? We have 5 more? Okay. I believe I can purchase more from a certain vendor too. Ow. Yeah, people don't really understand how much work actually goes into maintaining a system. And they're very, very quick to blame when anything does go wrong. Usually because of systems that people point out long before shit actually hits the fan. The people in charge of the system always say, yeah, we need X, Y, and Z, and then the people in charge of that go, but what if we saved some money?
I must.
What if we just saved 5% more? And then when it fails, it costs them that, and then some. We have like 1,000 employees in our IT division though, so I don't ever really talk to non-IT people. It's a big company, so everyone understands how things go and not a lot of blame going around. That's good, at least. It's very easy for things to escalate when you don't have people that actually know or care in charge of the systems.